Hey folks, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we are going to New Belgium Brewing and we are going to review the Voodoo Ranger Atomic Pumpkin Spicy Release out of Fort Collins, Colorado.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are drinking and reviewing. Be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell, as well as check us out on social media and come say hey to us in Discord. We would love to see you there. I have got Jay. I have got Andy in the attic. Gentlemen, what are we reviewing today?
You are Ben.
And I'm Ben, yes. I forget that. I forget who I am sometimes.
So we are going to New Belgium Brewing out of Fort Collins, Colorado. We're going to try the special release or spicy release of the Voodoo Ranger Atomic Pumpkin. And, you know, my background keeps floating in and out, kind of like a little paranoid here. Got some Halloween trimmers going.
Yeah, it's
Let's go. I'm thirsty.
It's a little it coincides with the can art there a little bit.
Yeah, probably fits my personality.
Always wary of a Colorado beer.
Colorado.
Indeed.
So this one's brewed with some chilies, right, Andy?
Cinnamon and habanero chili peppers.
Wow. Should be interesting for sure.
A little spice in your life.
I know Ben's not a fan of the spicy beer.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be my favorite. I have had this before. Just full disclosure. So we shall see how I rate it, though.
I like the aroma there.
Can smell the.
I get a lot
cinnamon.
of cinnamon.
Yeah, but you can smell the spice.
Yeah, I don't get the spice so much.
You get the pumpkin.
I get the pumpkin and the cinnamon for sure.
That's what I get mostly. Yeah.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Ben missed the memo.
I did. I've got my Fallout glass here. If those of you that may have played the Fallout games, I've got my Fallout glass to go with the kind of what I'd consider kind of post-apocalyptic can art.
All right, so Andy, we got a nerd out.
Yeah, it's a pumpkin / yam beer. This one uses nugget hops, pale Munich and caramel 120 malts. You said 6.4% ABV, 10 IBUs.
Little bite on the back end.
Yeah, part of the Voodoo Ranger series. I couldn't find what year the Voodoo Rangers started, but it's mostly IPAs. And although it's got the Atomic Pumpkin in there too. And it's just their innovative use of hops and malt varieties. Again, mostly IPAs. But this brewery started in 1991, New Belgium. 2 co-founders. It got the idea after a trip to Belgium. They were on a bike trip, and they were really taken by the Belgian brewing process, and they liked the beers there, so they wanted to bring that style home. And it was 1988 is when they went on their trip, and then they opened it in 1991.
Well,
one of them was a social worker, and so she decided to make it a people first type of business. And they, it made this long list of employee benefits and things that they do, environmentally conscious things. But I like the fully paid healthcare premiums. They have free on-site medical clinics with like full-time physician, like that, free to all the employees. So it's like,
how big is their organization to support something like that?
It grew and they've got so
I know
they
they have
started in Fort
two
Collins.
distributions. Yeah.
Then they moved. Then they opened in Asheville, North Carolina, in 2016. Then they've got some facilities in Denver in 2018 and San Francisco in 2021, kind of like brew pubs, I believe.
Well,
And they purchased Bell's Brewery, or they acquired them in 2021.
I
Wow.
didn't
No.
know that.
Ultimately, New Belgium, I believe, didn't write this down, but we discussed it another time. This Australian company, Lion, I believe, acquired them too. So they acquired them, but it's kind of like with Dogfish Head and Boston Beer Company. They just kind of let them do their thing. They didn't want to interrupt with the way they ran it.
They like the creative, innovative
Mm-hmm.
aspect. And, you know, they do some fantastic brews. I've had many of the Voodoo Ranger series. When I see those from time to time, I'll pick them up.
Yeah, I get kind of curious. Of course, they're well known for their flagship, the flat tire.
Fat tire.
Excuse me, fat tire. I always say that. I always mess that up. Fat tire, based
Fat
on a bike that they rode in Belgium. It's an amber.
Yep, it's very good.
I just remember the first day they started distributing to where we live. I was like, oh my gosh, fat tire.
Yeah.
And
That
then
was
I hardly
the
ever buy
craft
a
beer.
fat tire. I never buy a fat tire.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had one the other day. I rather enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Andy. That was kind of the craft beer you could get for a while around here, and you got a lot of it because it was about all we could get. But I haven't had it in a long time because I had so much of it at that point.
Well, there's so many other things we can get now, and we've said it so many times. It's not a bad beer, but there's all these different ones that we're searching for the next thing.
Yep, absolutely.
Always want that new hotness, Andy.
I do.
All right, has anybody not had this?
I don't believe I've had this one.
Wow. Okay. And who actually grabbed this one?
You did.
Yeah, I grabbed this one.
You grabbed it, and then I picked it up as well.
Yeah, you picked it up.
Gotcha. I was trying to remember if this was one that we bought when we were all together or not.
No.
Okay.
All right. I picked this one up the other day, and then
pumpkins weren't out then.
That's right.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll rate it first. I have no issue with that. I rather enjoy spicy beers. I know some people it's a turnoff. I've had some that have been really. Palmetto makes one. There's one that I've had out of Santa Fe Brewing. They actually made a red chili beer with cocoa that was just fantastic on draft. And this one I really like the bite on the back end. The pumpkin, you get the cinnamon, and then the chilies just hit you, and it creates that warm feeling of fall. And I think we're there. I mean, I saw where the weather's supposed to drop about 15 or 20 degrees with the cold front coming through overnight. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll rate this one probably a 7.5.
Okay. Andy, I have had this one, and you have had this one. So why don't you go first?
You didn't want to rock, paper, scissors this thing?
I mean, we can. You.
I will go. I guess it's been last year, maybe it was 2 years ago when I can't remember. Didn't look back, and I didn't look back at the score. I like the warmth that it gives, that little spice, and it immediately reminded me of fall. That sip, and like you said, Jay, I'm a couple hours ahead of you in terms of weather, and I stepped outside as the sun had gone down, and I could see the breeze going, and that cold front hit. And it was nice. And I was like, I need a good beer out here. Yeah, so a nice warm beer. And this it's a nice fall beer. It's good beer by the fire. I will give it, and I'm not the biggest on pumpkins. So I'm going to go with a 6.5 on this one. I'll drink it again. I've had it and several times, and it's just the pumpkin flavor is a little overbearing for me when it comes to the beer. I like pumpkin, everything else. But when it comes to beer, to me, it doesn't do it for me. But
Do you like other spices?
I do like the spice, so that helps with this one. So what I say, 6.5.
Mhm.
Sticking with it.
All right. So yeah, I too have had this one previous. So I think I had about a year, maybe 2 years ago. It's not been too fairly long. So I actually like pumpkin beers. It's one of the things I look forward to this time of year. Trying different pumpkins that hopefully I haven't had or seen before. I think the issue that I have with this one is that spice, because I'm not a big fan of spice. I don't like spicy food. I don't really care for spicy beer. So for me, that's going to be the negative to the beer. I think the flavor is really, really good. I really like the cinnamon and the pumpkin together. It's definitely a great fall beer. It's definitely a great sit outside by the fire beer if you like the spice. So this for me, I think, is one that I can have a few sips of, but ultimately I don't know if I can finish it because of the spice. And I just don't like spice. So all that being said, I don't want to, I can't rate it badly because I actually do like the taste of it. I just don't think I can have a whole beer of it because of the spice. So with that, I'm going to go 6. I think it's good. I like the flavor. I just don't like the spice.
What is it about it you don't like, Ben?
The spice. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the
Okay.
Spice Girls either. So, it's
know.
just spice.
Oh.
It's just
He
all
doesn't
that.
like the Ring of Fire.
No, I don't.
You're a horrible person. Spice Girls.
Yes. What is that one from Palmetto? The Ghost something or another. Me and Andy would really like it. I don't, Ben, you would absolutely hate it, but it is a strictly a spiced herb hot chili beer.
So
Probably not one that I'm going to seek out. No.
Had we done spicy pickle monster, but it didn't have the spicy, would you have given it a better score? You like the pickle beer?
That is to be determined. I have actually purchased a pickle beer for us to try that does not have spice. So we will have that in a future episode, and that question shall be answered.
You did that intentionally, didn't you?
I did.
No.
You talking to me or you talking to Andy?
I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I absolutely did. I was like, let's see what the pickle beer is like.
Another pickle beer.
Yeah. So
That's funny.
that'll be coming up. All right. That would give us a 6.7 for the Voodoo Ranger Atomic Pumpkin from New Belgium. Definitely a very interesting beer. It's that time of year. You should be trying the pumpkins while you can get them. This is one you should get and try if you like spicy beers. Definitely great flavor as far as I'm concerned. If you don't like pumpkin and you like spicy, hey, Andy says it might be your thing. You might would drink a couple. Jay loves it all the way around. So, hey, that's the way it shakes out. Be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell. Check us out on social media. Come say hey on Discord, and we will catch up with everybody next time. For Jay and Andy in the attic, I'm Ben, right? I'm Ben this time.
Sure.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Chug a lug, man.